It was 2012, and with such good games coming out the prior year, it was pretty clear that there was a lot of pressure on IO Interactive's new Hitman game, and with the occult following that the series had, it was pretty clear that this game has some big boots to fill. So on the 20th of November, when the game finally came out and all the positive reviews came in, it had seemed like it had lived up to the previous expectations that had been set. Even I remember liking this game when it first came out. So imagine my surprise when I came back to this game, and it wasn't as good as I had remembered. The levels are extremely dull and get old fast. The game's way too easy for its own good. And at certain points you'll be gunning people down left and right like you're in some sort of a Call of Duty game. Now, if you've played any of the other Hitman games, you know that they really don't tend to have too much of a focus on the story. However, Absolution is completely different. The entire game's focus is the story, with the gameplay more or less just being an aspect in the background. Which of course wouldn't be a problem if the story was actually good. But it's not, it's sloppy, and just plain bad. Now, our story starts with Diana, your previous agency contact from all the other games, kidnapping this girl that belongs to the agency, and you're sent after her in order to kill her and retrieve the girl. Which I can already see a problem with. Judging Diana from all the other games, you can obviously tell she was not a part of the science team and she wasn't a part of the combat team. So how the fuck did she steal the girl? Shouldn't the agency have top level security for this kind of stuff? Or at least some bodyguards of some sort? Because unless Diana did some James Bond level shit, there was no way she could possibly get past them. Back to the story. So you break in, shoot Diana, and she tells you about the girl. Apparently the girl is a test subject and she's just like your character. She's going to become a hitman. So your character decides to make the decision to save the girl. Then you destroy your car and you go into hiding. Now obviously with 47 on the run, he can't look after the girl. So he sends her to the most unprotected place there is, a church. Now, with the way the agency's described in this game, they're like boogeymen who know everything. But apparently, they couldn't find a girl who was in a church in the middle of town with no bodyguards next to her. The ones who end up finding her are a bunch of hillbillies. Back to 47. Now, 47 wants to know who's hunting down the girl, so he seeks this man out called Birdie, and we find out that a man named Blake Dexter is looking for her. So you sneak in his hotel room and try to kill him. But like a complete idiot, 47 fails to kill him, even though he is a trained assassin, and you're on a massive goose chase throughout the rest of the game, hunting down Blake's former associates, until, surprise surprise, he kidnaps the girl in the unprotected church, where he then goes to Birdie and asks who the girl is. Apparently, he had no idea who she was, but if he had no idea who she was, then why the hell would he try and kidnap her? It just makes no sense. After finding out that she's worth a lot of money, he arranges a deal with the agency to get $10 million. The girl then tries to escape, and you can see her, she has blocked this move, but then later on, she is caught by the exact same move, so even her skill level is really fucked. Back to the last bit of the story. You sneak into Blake's hotel room before he can make his deal, and you kill him. You save the girl and you take her back. 6 months later, you go and you kill the head of the agency. We then find out you didn't actually kill Diana. Even if there's a cutscene where you kill her, she isn't actually dead. Level design. Now this game has some of the shittest level design I've ever seen. It's completely different to all the other Hitman games and reminds me of the level design that a first-person shooter would have. Now you see, a lot of the Hitman games seem to have levels like this, where you've got one massive map and you can go around it, searching for items around the map and inventive ways to kill people. But on this game, it just isn't there. You're just forced to go forward like a first-person shooter game. You cannot explore the map, it's usually just go forward and progress. Now, that isn't to say there aren't maps like the other ones, but you can complete those maps in around about 5 minutes. Where on the other hand, those other maps take a very long time. When I say a long time, I mean a goddamn long time. Like, let's take this map for example. This map was so long that it actually made me want to stop playing. Every single time that I thought that I was near the end of the mission, it would just keep going. I would find out that there was at least another 20 minutes that I had to endure of it. So when it was finally over, I just stopped playing the game for a couple of days. I also wanted to talk about the placement of the weapons and people on the map. This game seems to encourage you to drop the stealth aspect and just go into levels gunning people down. The instant a place seems to get slightly hard, you'll be able to find an AK-47 on the table. When there's an enemy at a door, you'll be able to find a goddamn submachine gun. This game just seems to encourage you to just grab the gun and just gun your way through all the levels. Now, with the difficulty of the other Hitman games, IO Interactive set out to make this game a lot easier, so it was more approachable to new people in the market who wanted to play a Hitman game, which wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't as easy as it was. If you're not a complete idiot, you can complete the game on hard mode in about a day. Now, I completed this game on normal, hard, and expert, and let me tell you something. If you're looking for a challenge, don't play anything from hard mode to easy mode, as they are way too easy. The only way you're going to get a challenge is if you play the game on expert or professional. Let me give you an example. This is me playing on hard mode. As you can see, I am just walking past the enemies and they don't even notice. Now, this is me playing on normal. I am literally running through the level and they're not even shooting at me. So take my advice, if you want a challenge, do not go on these modes. But there's something else that makes the game a lot easier as well. It's called Instinct. This is a new addition exclusive to Hitman Absolution. It's basically a bar that you use and you can click it and enemies will not notice you. And it will show you hints on the level, it will show you items you can pick up and where enemies are and where your target is. Which gives you an edge on every single level and also makes the game way too easy. You seem to have an over-reliance on it, just using it when you have no idea what to do. On the other hand, all the other Hitman games, if you had no idea what to do, you'd be searching that map for hours or you had to look that shit up. On this game, the instant you get stuck, you just press the button and you know what to do. It kinda reminds me how on Fallout 3, since there was no aiming, all you'd do was use VATS, instead of trying to use their shitty aiming system. Now, as always, I've rounded up some comments. This time I've got them from Steam and Google, just to get a general consensus of what people think of this game. We have this user who dislikes the game, saying that it has a predictable story, and that it tries to be dark and gritty and fails, which I agree with. This user, complete opposite to the other one, loves the game, even stating that it's the best Hitman game in the series. This person likes the game, but says that since the servers are down, half of the content is locked, so he wouldn't recommend it. We have this person who dislikes the game, saying that instead of buying this game, you should just buy Hitman 1 or 2 as they're just far superior games. This user loves the story and says that it really has the feel of an Xbox PlayStation era game, but he also agrees with me in saying that when you're playing on normal, the AI is just brain dead. And we're going to end it with this review from this person who really dislikes the game, so much so that he doesn't usually write reviews, but just for this game he wrote one to tell you not to buy it, saying that since contracts are down, you only get half of the contact and stealth is extremely broken that it's hard to get a high score in the game. Now, looking at these reviews, I can tell that the general consensus of this game is very positive, and most people, unlike me, seem to like it. Now, for my review, I'm going to rate this game a 4 out of 10, since even though I dislike this game, I still think that it has some charming aspects to it. So anyway, thanks for watching, leave a like, a comment if you want to, and I'm not too sure, but the day after this day, I should have another video coming out. So stay tuned, thanks, and bye.